Hey listeners, I'm Ashley Rodriguez and I'm your host of Taboo Talks. Today we're going to do a little interview of myself, answering some simple questions for who I am and why I chose Taboo Talks as our social self-development platform. I think you're really going to be interested to hang along with us and hear some cool things that we have to talk about, some really deep topics that make people really uncomfortable. But I'm going to show you how we can facilitate conversation in a healthy and productive way, even when we're talking about these hard topics. I am currently in the United States Army. Not necessarily going to go into detail about what I do, but I'm about to transition out, so I will be out of the military soon. And I hope to work on Taboo Talks full-time in conjunction with our platform Mars that we have, which is a huge backbone and supporter of mental health and mental health awareness. As I transition out of the military, I will focus on being a full-time mom. I have a daughter and I am married. I have a husband and we have a fur baby, Rafiki. I am so passionate about communication. It is the single most important thing that we do every day of our lives. It does not have to be verbal, it can be unwritten or unspoken for those of you that identify it that way, body language, all kinds of things. I think that people tremendously underestimate the value of communication and communicating effectively. And I noticed that with specific topics and things that I was curious about, there really was no real platform for me to go to people that I knew were valuable and resourceful and could answer my questions about things that I might be curious about. And that's exactly why I decided to create Taboo Talks. I want it to be a platform where we can come and ask questions on any topic. It doesn't matter what it is, but what we're gonna do is practice having that healthy and productive conversation to get where we're both trying to go, understanding and getting more knowledge and actually putting our views out there in a way that people might listen and might hear us out. I chose the name Taboo Talks because obviously a lot of the topics that we're going to talk about are taboo in America and maybe through other places in the world. We're on a little bit of a different scale depending on where you live. But what I'm noticing is that a lot of times in our lives, how we act and the things that we support and promote are actually taboo subjects. Just nobody wants to talk about them. We're willing to live it out, act it out, you know, and get in these communities without really exposing it and opening it up to others so that it becomes more normal. It becomes a normal part of our everyday lives and less taboo. And it's really, really important stuff, which if you stick around long enough, you'll see some of the topics that we'll talk about and that we'll hash out with each other. So I don't want to ruin any of that here. I chose podcasting because I recently got into listening to motivational videos on YouTube and seeking out really inspirational words from people that have already been there, done that type thing, and maybe have a little bit more motivation than I have naturally, or at least they know how to facilitate it better. So my husband is the one that actually introduced me to podcasts and podcasting. He was listening to podcasts for like men and, you know, development and being a man and what is a man. And so I kind of took the flip side of that and I was like, okay, well, I want to listen to being a woman and being a woman, you know, a businesswoman, a small entrepreneur business. You guys get what I'm saying? Because I definitely, that was not English right there. I have so many goals for Taboo Talks and for everybody in the community. I want to do prize giveaways, I want to do public events, and there's really no limits where this thing can go if we go there together. And I know that sounds so cheesy, that's so freaking cliche, but it seriously is what we make it. All I can do is facilitate, and it's gonna be up to everybody else to participate. If I could share one thing with you guys today, it would just be explore yourself, explore your options for your ways of thinking. Obviously, I'm in my mid-20s now, and 5 years ago, I didn't think I would have the mindset that I have today. It's amazing how much we're truly adapting and really changing and really changing our views. You see it a lot in politics, and I won't go too deep because we'll save that for an episode. But you see it in politics a lot where, you know, 10 years ago they said this thing and now they're saying this, and they're hypocritical. And I guess we all are, because do not tell me that when you were 10 years old you have these same beliefs and the same view of this world that you have now as an adult or a teenager, or older generation. I don't know. So our views are constantly changing by our experiences and what we learn, the things that we're researching and developing ourselves on. And that's really what this platform is going to expose and dive into. Stay tuned with us, guys. We're going to be putting out weekly episodes, and shortly I'm going to be interviewing some locals and non-locals and get their take on some of these taboo topics that we have. Everybody's going to have different backgrounds, different varying levels of education. I do not believe, again, this is another podcast, that education is solely from a university or a school or college. Life is our greatest teacher, and some of the relationships, you know, whether it's friends, family, intimate relationships, those are some of our biggest teachers if we allow it to be. So stay tuned for some of those featured guests. If you would like to be a featured guest, then hit me up on email. I will put it in the description, or any of the platforms that we have available for Taboo Talks. And we are going to have a huge launch for New Year's Eve, because that's everybody's coming to the light moment. I'm gonna do better for myself this year. So we'll have a huge launch party with prize giveaways and really open up Taboo Talks for the world. So if you're in right now, you're in the beginning, and you're gonna be our foundation. You guys are really creating the foundation for this movement, so you should be proud and excited with me, because I'm totally excited. I can't wait. All right, guys, that's all I have today for you. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I just want to say thank you so much for your support. I know I'm constantly putting stuff out there. I'm the biggest idea fairy. It's horrible, but I'm 100% willing to do the legwork and the sleepless nights and the dedication to get it where I really see it going. And I just want to thank you again for your support. Thanks for being here. Share, subscribe, just be a part of the community and see what we're up to. Hi listeners. Every 5 seconds in America, someone has hurt feelings due to a lack of understanding, a lack of conversation, a lack of backbone. With your help today and your listening ears, you'll provide a great platform for those who need it most.
Hair is not stretchy enough. Is that better? Oh, that's so good. Beautiful. Beautiful.
I am Ashley Rodriguez.